Okay. Even though there are no students joining the class, but I will start my class right now, and I will keep it in the record and upload it. Okay. So for today, I would like to talk about some skills. If you still remember, we have a lecture talk about the CSCI to the continuous delivery, integration, and then delivery. So, and the one thing is about Git. So I would let you, if you never use Git, there's a time to help you pick up. If you do, then it just go through one more time. So Git is the distributed version control system. So it allows the developer, like all the users, to working together for the same project. So without like overwriting each other's change. Most of the time for development, we are working like locally. Okay. And then if you need to upload it to the server or like share to others, then you never know, okay, who hosts the latest copy or the version of the modification. So it would be better. So we have the repositories. So with the repo, so the directory that connect all the project files and the history of change, so we can change back from the version 1 to the version 10, and then what kind of change you make, you can put on the comment, so you know, okay, what kind of update you have, and then you can trace the time, so you know, okay, when is the latest update. And then we have different branches, so it's a like parallel version of the repo, so it allows the developer to work on like some features without affecting the main code base. Let's say if you are working on the one is already delivered and then you want to create some special feature, then you can create a new one, the branch, and then work on that. If it's okay, then you can change it to production, like, or like launch it with the tag, so people know, okay, which one they need to pull. Okay, and then you can do the commit. So it's a snapshot of your repositories. So at a specific point in the time, so you can like just push it and then add the files and then add the commission. Okay. With the basic comments will be like start with the git init. So you need to initialize a new like git repo. And if you want to download others or the projects share in your group, so you can use a git clone. This one you need to use for your project. So you need to like start with your git repo and like initial your project, and then you need to send a comment. So when you clone, just put the URL. So here will be the example. Let me git up. Okay, let me sign into my Git. Okay. So if you have the class, I recommend so try to create the directory for yours and download. So you can try to follow these steps. And then we have the commit. So if you're using comments, remember sometimes if you make mistake, then we have a it's like you forgot to add in the commit with the message. Okay. Sometimes we are trying to add in is the version 1, version 2, or what kind of update you change. So we need to save it. And then after you finish the commit, then you can push it to your remote repo. Okay. But if you need to fetch it or like match some change from the remote repo, then you can use the Git tool. If you are working with the team, because for the project, you're not required to working as a team project, but later if you do have a chance, then you should better to using the Git. Okay. I will show more right here. The one I didn't tell is how can you add the repo. So we have called the git add. Okay, so the git add right here. So you can using git add dot the comment just like git add dot will be include all the file. But if you have a specific file you want to add, let's say is the happy server like this .js, then you can add it. Okay, so after you add it, then you can using commit. And right here we have the slash, like the one to the branch is the main one, and then we will push it to the origin. As a first time, you need to sign in and with your like user name, user password. Okay, so all the information. But once you create, then you're okay. And right here, you have more requests, like all the even all others project, or you can search others. Okay, so right now I introduce. So later I will give you some exercise and showing if you know how to use it. Okay. Next is I would like to cover about the code. You already learned the Happy.js, and you already try to integrate use those sample code to create the like connect to the MongoDB. So basically you should know all these things. But also I told you like what's the parameters, how can pass it. But I would like to cover more things. Like once you pass the parameter IDs, so here's the structure. So it's the passing the parameter through the ID right here, bracket or query. So using the question mark, and then we can pass it through the query so you can get. Then after we get, how can we send all those information or data to our database? If you look at the sample code I gave you before, so let's say I'm taking the server MongoDB query right here. Okay, so once you receive it, then how can you handle it? Of course, later I will try to cover some syntax about what is the Node.js ES6, then you will better use it. But once you receive the payload, you are not directly pass it to the MongoDB. Sometimes you need to do some calculation or handle certain input. Like after you validate, then it may change. Then how can you do that? Okay, so when you see, when we change the files like query, and let me show you right here. So once you change the query right here, once you pass the parameter, this one we just pass it directly. Okay, we try to find it and pass the title. So you need to receive the title right here and pass it. Okay, but sometimes if you need to implement, then how can you do that? Then you need to learn some syntax. Also know how to know knowing some how the client works. Then you will have a better design. So right here, let's say they have the schema, and then you can directly pass the data from the payload. So you can see here, the JSON format. So you need to know the data we are passing from the client side, or if you are return it to the client, then you need to know most of the time we're using the JSON, and also we will return the array JSON. So if you remember our first example, several examples we have, we will return it as called a to array. So that one will be including. So for the all the array JSON will be like this. We will try to return. So here's the array, and then we including all the possible return rate. So in array. So if you need to write a syntax, like once we say, so you need to for the called the items of let's say this one is called the let list equals to like this. Okay, once we get a return, so it's the list, and then you need to do something blah blah blah. Okay, so right here we need to integrate with all the items one by one. Okay, so we need to know JSON is the lightweight data interchange format. And sometimes you will test like receive the data from the form. Okay, so if you receive from the form, then you will have we call the multi-pass and then the form data. So once we receive it, so okay, maybe we need to include that called the payload in the called the multi-pass, let it true, and then output also is that data. And we will face it to the application called JSON. So once you receive it, then we save this file, and we will return a message. Okay, then it's called the upload successful, return a message. So if you need to create the API, it's like to handle uploading the file, then you need to able to handle this one. Okay. Next, we need to move on because you are using the language, programming language I didn't cover. So in the last, almost our last 1 month courses, Then you need to know, okay, so if you start working on your project, you need to know some basic features and what's the JavaScript and what's the ES6. So ES6 is the version console, and it really changed the JavaScript syntax. Okay, so if you see like what's the var, and then later when we started using Node.js and using some syntax ES6, it looks really different. So it including like called the arrow function, template, literals, and then the modules. So all this, and most of the time you see in our source code we call the synchronize, asynchronous. So we have a promise and we have the called async or await. So we need to use, there's some caching included. So in the JS, they will do the first, the arrow function. So we can make it as a one statement. So all those, it provide a kind of concise syntax for writing function. Okay. And it will working like functions for the expression, and also they bind this value lexically. So they were making them useful for certain context. Okay. So for the, let's say if we define a constant method or using let, then we will pass the parameter. We put the bracket right here. So with the parameter, the arrow right here will be say, okay, what the operation we're taking. So we add them together and return it. Okay. So when we try to like create this function and load it, then you will see the output. So in the source code, I already gave you all these function and as an example. So I would like to show you, open it, and okay, let me open the terminal. Okay, so I'm using node and then execute this directly. So you see the return value like 5 by 42. So right here, first I will have a arrow function. Passing, if you have multiple line, you remember you need to add the curly bracket right here. So when you handle and then maybe adding it, then you need to add the return. So when you have multiple, let's say if you need to change it to let z equal to x plus y, and then return z will be like this. Okay, this one is called a multi-line. But of course, that's what I have called the when you see the traditional function. Okay. So for the transitional function, we see pass a parameter x and y and return the value, right? So we can just keep the curly bracket right here. So we can replace it. Okay. So no matter you call the add or using arrow function, we will return the same value. And the next, when you implement, sometimes you need to create the object and try to get the value. So you will see we try to have a constant object, and then itself we have a value, and we implement a function called get value. So this one will return. So we are not passing any parameter and then return this value. So this value is referring to the object itself, the value contained. Okay. So you will see the output is 42. So this one is called the arrow function. And then the one I think you may handle a lot for your server or like for your project is the template tools they will need. So you may need to handle like multi-line strings or string interpolation. So for the one single line, you can create a name and then John with the double quote. But if you need to pass it as a parameter, sometimes if you need to return the message parameter, so you need to change. So with the quotation, each one is like nearby your 1 is to number 1. So on the top, so will be this one. Okay, so this one will allow you have a multi-line or passing parameter. So you can see a dollar sign with the curly bracket, and then we can pass the name parameter. So both of them can work together. Okay, so remember here's the for the another one, instead of double quote, single quote is the slash, this one. Okay. And then next one, you will I mentioned the concept. You need to use the MongoDB, like create different importing. So probably for your project, you need to like call those functions. So we have the modules. So I will more details than what are those modules they are doing. So they are got a module system allow for better code organization. So I give you the example is the called the math and the main. So the main is the entry point, and then the math is the modules we call. So if I have the math JS function, you will see we always using export. So remember when we export a function, so use the keyword export, and then we create a function. This one is one single line statement, a function. So constant function name, and we pass the parameter AB and then A plus B, and then subtract AB and then A minus B. Okay. In the entry point, what you need to do just import it from the file, source file, and just based on the file, the function you export. So if you have two function called add and subtract, you can import it. The benefit doing it this way is that you just need to import the function you need. And when you look at our some sample code or like implement for your server, you will see we all use a lot for the importing. So even just the happy.js, if you look at syntax, we try to like require it and then require it, and then you see happy.js, we have the server function right here. While using the mongoose, we call the function. So mongoose, we have some function called the connect, and then declare information. So everything right here for the server, we pass it. We are connect. So all this implement with the modules. And if you look at the example right here, I just ask you to like try to import it and get the function, but here's the same idea. So we try to implement the function, and right here we try to export all the functions. So you see we can do the one single line, just like export the function one by one, or after you create the function, you can export like modules dot export. You can export all the functions. So either one style you can apply. So okay, you can do single line or just like for export as a branch. Okay, but one thing is that if you have some function is called by some function methods locally, but you don't want to export it, and you can do it in this way to like manage it. So you can just choose some function you would like to export, then you can put it right here. So sometimes it's like for better management. But if you put every line export, then you will make some mistake. Then you take some time to debug. Okay. This one is depends on your programming style. And I would like to show you the code. It's the math and the main. Okay, so right here, you just need to export two functions, and then with the file name and then main will be right here. So you see subtract and minus. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. So main.js, okay, we need to import the modules. I need to add the modules, but I didn't have it. Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can fix it later. I need to create the packet initialization. Okay. And what else do I need? Including. Then we can use required, or either way is okay, new syntax. Let me start one more time. cannot import directly. I need to add the tab in the package. Okay, maybe I just add it. I'll put it right here. So right here I need to add one more. Sometimes depends on the your project defined, but this one for the testing, that I will do it like this. But when you follow your implementation, maybe you maybe not required doing using the tab modules. Okay, so you see it comes out. Okay, and you see it's adding together and then showing the result. Okay, got it. And then next one, so we have the called asynchronous programming. So we include the promise. Promise is providing the clear way to handle the asynchronous operation compared to a callback. Last time, if you're using the nested callback, and it's really have a multiple level, because for the functions we create, let me take in the one, maybe the server, right here, let me take in read server, okay. You see, we using lots of asynchronous, and then we have the called the promise, and then return the value, and this help us to handle if right here we have the happy.js and the passing a function and getting a return value, and also we need to wait for the reply from the MongoDB queries. So if we are using the promise, then we can directly return it. But if we are not using the promise, you need to like return the data, return back through callback. So it's from the function. Okay. Show you. And we have one more called async and await. So this one syntax provide a way to help us to work with the promise. These are promise. So more like readable and easy to maintain. So we see the keyword always that comes out. So right here, we will return a new promise when we try to fetch the data and then set the, let's say, timeouts like this. And when we try to implement the function with the async, so the function parameter right here, we need to add async right here, and then they always like working as a pair. If you need to using async and then await, then you need to remember this function. We need to put it right here. So async, and then that means like we have some function need to wait for return. So it's await right here when we fetch the data, and we need to wait for it. Then after we wait for it, then we can save it to our data. If you don't put await and fetch data, when the program like execute this command, then I will go down to the next log. So you always receive a null or empty list of data. But if you put in the async and await right here, waiting for promise, the promise says, okay, I try to fetch the data. So right here in the waiting queue until I receive the return response, then I will save it to data. At least you can guarantee, okay, I wait for the complete connection and return value. Okay, and next one will be the called the create the dynamic list. So for the dynamic list, we included the destructing, and destructing will be used to extract the ID, name, description directly from the item object inside the map function. So here you will see a lot we're using a map function. So map function also called it on the items array to transform each item into a JSX element. So each list item has a unique key based on the ID. And then for the template literal, so they use for the JSX to format the output string. That's how it looks like. And then we have more like for arrow function, handle the like working with the map function, and also with the spread operator with a total to copy and merge in the array and objects. I believe you may need to use it. And then we have some like default parameter. So if the user didn't pass certain content, then would you add some default parameter? Then that's what we need to do. Okay. So when we define function, you can set the default value for those. Okay. Right here, I would like to show you the source code. So if we see the asynchronous function, that's what I say. when we create, so we need to add the async and wait. So if you didn't put it, then you will cause the error. So either one. So you have to remember to put them as a pair. And here's the promise. And when I say the square operator, if I have a function like this, I have items and then empty items, and then when I add it, so new item is the parameter, item is the original this. Then when I pass it and with the add item, then I will like merge it. So original item and then with the list. By default, the items with the empty array is parameter. So I will add all the default values and then add the new one. So it's called the parameter. And then for the temporary tutorial, you will see right here. So you can put it multiple line, they will treat as a multi have a brick right here. Okay. So here the some sample code. So I believe you will use that later. If you for the compute, if for the EPS server, if you need to create user, you will send a post to the /like users with the JSON payload. Once you receive it, that's like for the exercise you can do to practice. Then you will receive the request and handle the extra parameter and then payload from the request. And after you receive it, then you need to save it using the method. So right here, for the better practice, you always remember to handle the error and the middle way to catch and respond to the error gracefully, or like try to log in. And then make sure using the package environment like doc environment to maintain some sensitive information security. Just need for your project. If you remember, I'll show you some example. And then doing the version control. So like working with the Git to commit the change often that will clear message maintain it readable. So here, so far will be for the class. And for the mongoose right here, I would like to show you more code. That's like you use pretty regularly. So we have called a handle when we get a route, a synchronized function, and then when we receive the parameter. Okay, so if you need to function looking for one certain, so you can pass the ID. So this one with the same inside, right? So if you need to input it as a modules and function, so you need to pass a user ID directly to find it. So this one is pretty straightforward. But if you need to find something else to calculate age and then provide and pass it, then you need to use the maybe create another arrow function and then methods to handle. So you can do it right here and then pass it to the file. Okay. And there are some like filters that you can apply. So like greater than. So that's what you need to do. And then if you need to merge it like with some like regular expression, the name, also some options like we try to define some like case insensitive option to search the certain content, and also paginning, then return it with the different page. And you may need to use it, or that's you can decide based on your project you're working on. So you can try. And if because no students, suppose that I give you the lab time and I would like to ask your progress, then I will check it later. And one more thing is that I will open the you will see the new assignment. So this assignment is about, let me open it, show it. So this assignment you need to, if you remember, or talking like for testing, so you need to use it with the Mocha. So you need to install Mocha and then just create any project, maybe anything. And you should have create your API. That means the API like get, post, like with passing parameter, post value with the payload, put, delete. Okay, at least you have all these 5 methods wrote. And then you need to connect to your MongoDB, including all those like the operation, like create, read, update, or delete. Okay. And most important part is implement the testing. So you need to install the required package like Mocha, happy/code. So I give you an example right here. That one is the chart, and the other necessary like Supertext. You can follow my code, and then you need to execute and test all the syntax and get the return. So what you need to do is like test all this. Then you need to put the documents, all your endpoint, response, and possible output. And remember to add all the screenshots of all your tests. Okay. And showing what's the result and submit it in a PDF file. Okay. So that's what you need to do for your assignment. I hopefully it will be, because I know you need to work on your project and maybe getting busy for other class too. So I will change this if you require. So I will make this assignment will be your last assignment. If you need more time, I will extend it to 1 more week. And if in case for some in the class, I have some exercise like it can help you to work on your project, then I will change to in-class exercise. So I will show you how to do that, and then you can follow the steps and then submit the screenshot. So it may help you to easily pick up or how to implement your Happy.js server. And that's it for, because there's no students, so I will just stop my class right here. Suppose I will give some lab time and practice. The next thing due to my schedule, I even say it right here, but I will make the announcement. So we have no class on Wednesday because I have some taking other courses and I need to have conflict with my time. So will be no class on Wednesday. And I will stop sharing. And if you're interested, then you can review it. Okay, thank you.